happening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another ARK video, even though, like, my best one got taken down, but hey, it's whatever, it's not. Today, we're going to do a bit of a different video. We're gonna do a tier list. Yeah, I've never done this before, but we're going to rank every ARK creature. I doubt this isn't even all of them. This is not very much at all. But we're going to rank all of them based on how useful they are from my experience. And even if I haven't tamed them, it's probably just going to be from what I know from them. And if these creatures, I'm looking, if any of these creatures are unusable, I don't seem to see any since they're technically, usable. So, yeah, let's go into it. It's probably, this isn't every creature, but honestly, that should buy us enough time for me not to, talk about, for this video to be very long. Sorry for the delay, I just needed, I recorded a Geometry Dash video, but I don't want to, and before that I was trying to make another ARK video, but it was way too laggy and I didn't want to upload it, because I had no fun making it. Anyway, let's start off. I think this is alphabetical order, yeah, this is. Anyway, let's do the first one, which is the Achatina. Yeah, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing them, but I'll just call him the Snail. The Snail is, if you wanted to tame it, it's gonna take a long time because they require, well, it depends what stage you're at. If you're at like mid-game or early game, it's gonna certainly take a little bit of time because they need sweet veggie cakes, and you need honey, that's literally all I know. I know for sure that it requires honey or some shit, but that's like the hardest part for me. So, but in terms of usability, I'll put in, or usefulness, I'll put in, B, because it makes their cementing paste as in, like, very slowly, like, one at a time. Not that it's bad, I'd just rather, get, a frog, and it's right there, but a frog to get Meganeras, or, bugs, pretty much, to get cementing paste. It's much more easier. Next, we have owls. I'm actually going to put them in A, because if you tame them, their pack boost is great, and paired with the Uranus makes them even better. It makes them, like, boss fight worthy. Like, if you had extras, you could add, like, an aloe, unless you're going to Tech Cave. It's probably not a good idea, because you have 5 minutes to put all of your dinos in. You're not going to have enough time to put all of your dinos in. But I still put an A because it's a really good dino and it's pretty common actually. Anglerfish, you can write on these. They're sea creatures. The only thing they're good at is silica pearl. Now this really depends on your harvesting rate, but I'm just gonna say, if your harvest is at bottom, like just regular harvest settings, I'm gonna put an A. But if you have like harvesting settings like I do, which is crazy, it's like I think all the way up, you really don't need these. Next is the Ankylo. I do think the Ankylo is very good. In fact, I actually think it's S. I do think it's a little outclassed by the Magmasaur, but it's like exclusive to like Genesis 1. And I think it's on Genesis 2. I don't think it is, but I'm pretty sure it's only exclusive to Genesis 1. Unless you're playing on a cluster, then that's a completely different story. But if you're just doing an actual PvE non-cluster, yeah, you definitely use these because these are on like every map. Next, we have Araneaps. These things eat, I believe, spoiled meat. That's about it. You can breed them because, like, think of the TLC that the Stegos and the Mammoths had, but that's about it. They're not very good, so I'm gonna put them in D. They're not very good. Next, we have the Archaeopteryx. Yeah, I know I'm not pronouncing that right, but I mean, I'm not gonna pronounce that good. Archaeopteryx can be used as, I believe, a parachute, unless I'm talking about the Microraptor, but pretty sure it's the Archaeopteryx. These are pretty good. No, they're not, because whenever you're not looking for one, they appear, but whenever you are, they don't appear at all. Just make a regular parachute. It's literally just like fiber, thatch, and hide. That is it. Don't use these. These are horrible. I'm gonna rank these in order, so we'll put Archaeopteryx at least on top of Ranius. Next to Argentavis, it is obviously the best dino, or creature, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, pretty much useful in literally any scenario. They have weight reduction on pretty much anything that is useful. Weight reduction on obsidian, crystal, metal. Unless you're talking about Pinkies, the metal reduction is crazy on them. Arthros. So I believe their bite cannot damage tech, but their spit can. Or I think it's the other way around. Their spit can, but their bite can. I don't know, it's somewhere like that. These aren't very good. They can basically destroy tech, but maybe it's for, like, you could use it for stealth. That's the best thing I could think of that, you know, in terms of PvP, they could be useful, but I've literally never seen anyone use this in PvP. I'm gonna be honest. So I'll put them in, like, C, because I guess they could have a useful use, but I really haven't seen anyone use it. Next is the Baryonyx. If you're going on caves in the island, or Ragnarok or something, this is a really good dino. It really depends on what kind of cave you're going, but honestly, for the basic caves, these are really good. They are a little bit of a pain to tame, because if you're near the water, don't tame it. It's not a good idea, because they can stun you, and it pisses me off, and I don't think you can even bowl up Baryonyxes anymore, because I believe at one point you could, but you cannot anymore, because I've tried multiple times. It doesn't work. Anyway, I do think they are really good, so I'll put them on top of the snail. The basilisk, I think, is actually a little overrated, because here's the thing. I'm not saying it's overrated, because I don't think I've seen people actually say this thing is good, but I believe you have to grab eggs and then feed it to it, I think. Not feed it, but put eggs and it will eat them, and then the taming process will begin. I believe that's how it works, and once you tame it, it's really cool. It's like a snake, pretty much. Like a better version of the Titanoboa, except it's not. It has like this breath attack, and it's good on paper, but it's really not good. I'm gonna put it on low C. The Basilo is, I think, one of the best dinos in the game. I honestly think it's one of the best dinos in the game. Okay, so here's the thing. The Basilo is really good. So it contains fortitude when you ride on it. So you'll have unlimited fortitude or something. So you cannot be really cold or really hot. So you don't really, it defeats the purpose of scuba leggings, which provide fortitude. So it's actually really useful. And they cannot be stunned by jellyfish, because I hate jellyfish, but these things are countering them. You cannot be stung by them. It doesn't matter. And even better, if there's a Tuso after you, it cannot stun it. I've killed an alpha Tuso once because of this. Their health is really good depending on the level, because I tamed like a 100 or like an above 100, and I gave it exceptional kibble. The highest health it has was I think at least 200,000 health, somewhere around there. For starters, that for in the island, for me, that was really good, honestly. But it did die when I went into the artifact of the cunning, which I hated. But it's still good. It's really good. The frog is great. The only reason why I'm not putting in S is because it doesn't have much health at all. Like, at all. It doesn't have much health, I'm gonna be honest. But the fact that it can kill really any bug, and it gives some cementing paste, at my harvesting rate, you get like 70 cementing paste for every Mega Nura you kill. I came back with like at least 2,000 cementing paste. It's crazy. It's crazy. And they're not even that hard to tame. But yeah, sure, they're at the swamp, but just boil them and then trank them, feed them meat, and that is it. You're done. You can like grab your Argentavis and carry it back to your base, get a saddle, go back to the swamp, kill any Mega Nura you see, or the ants, and you walk away with about 2,000 cement paste. It's just crazy. You'll get a crap load of polymer. Next is the Bronto. I do think this thing is a little overrated because they walk very slow. They're kind of a pain to tame, I'm gonna be honest, depending on what stage you're at. And you could put a platform saddle. But anyway, their harvesting is literally outclassed by like the Therizino, which isn't as big, and you can actually run, or you could use anything that's really a herbivore that's bigger than a parasaur. So an iguanodon. I don't know. I haven't came up with any. I'll put them in a high C tier though. Actually, I'll put them in low B. Actually, the bulb dog is. I'm just gonna put every light creature, not as in like they're really light, as in heavy, but as in like those light up creatures. I'm gonna put the bulldog on C, despite it being incredibly adorable. It can protect you from, I think it's Ravagers, or I think it's Seekers or Ravagers. Not Ravagers, Nameless, not Ravagers, I'm a dumbs. Nameless and Seekers, depending on, the context. Next, Turtles. I'm not gonna bother saying its name. The turtle is not very good at all. I mean, it is insanely useful for starters because the shell is like not bulletproof, I don't think, but it provides a lot of protection. So the best thing I could think of that can make this useful is tanking, as in like if you're trying to tame a Tuso, you need a tank to tame it, to feed it pretty much, because it's a passive tame. You could use this and then feed it the black pearls and whatever. I'll put it above pretty much here. That doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. Carno. I actually genuinely like the Carno, because here's the thing. For starters, it's great. It's like a mini T-Rex. It's basically a T-Rex in any Beach Bob's view. But once you're, going up and up, it's not very useful, because you have all these other options like T-Rex, aloes, bears. I don't know why I would use bears, but yeah. Yeah, I still genuinely like these. I'm gonna put them right here. Next is the Castroid. These have really good wood production or whatever. Beaver dams, and that's about it. I do believe their torpor is pretty much the same as a Giga, which, if you don't know, the torpor on the Giga, or the unconsciousness on the Giga, goes down, which is why you need a lot of narcotics, not drugs. Well, technically it's a drug, but anyway, to pretty much you need to feed a lot of it so the unconsciousness doesn't go all the way down and it wakes up and kills you. You need to, it's pretty much like that. The castroid is like that. So, tip, make sure to bring a lot of, biotoxin, narcotics, whatever, with you, so it doesn't drain down the consciousness. Overall, I don't think this thing is worth taming. Just get like a mammoth or something. And that'll probably do, but I'll put it above the Bronto, but below the Carno, because it's at least easier taming. The Chaligorythm, I have a feeling I'm pronouncing these wrong. I'll call it, the cow, because it looks like a cow, except it's not a cow. So this thing can throw rocks until I realized it wasn't, I think. Unless it is rocks, I don't know. And it does really no damage, unless you're like a beach bob, then yeah. I think the best way to tame these is with beer. And beer takes trust me, it takes a long time making beer, and it's not worth it. Which is why I'm going to put an F. Because at least with these two, it doesn't take like 5 years just to make the taming resources best to tame this thing. The fish, is not very useful at all. Actually, just not useful. But at least, I don't even think these are tameable, but I'm pretty sure they are. At least they're not a pain as, whatever the hell this thing's taming process is. Copies, these things are funny because, not as funny as dodos, but, like, you can make an army of these and just, send them all out. I wonder how fun that would be. Anyway, these things are not very good at all. Their defense is okay, but I don't see where you're gonna find a copy, aside from the beach. Datons are pretty much healers, and I think pretty much the only healers aside from snow owls. That's about it. Or, Argentatus as well. They're not saying they're not bad. Obviously, the healing is good, but the thing is about these is I try healing my Rexes and it takes forever, and I put as much meat as I can into these. It takes a long time, but I guess waiting is the key. So I will put them on probably like B tier. They're not bad. The Denitrus, I know that's not what you call it, but raptor thing. This thing is pretty much broken, and I'm pretty sure this thing got nerfed because it was actually just broken. This thing would, even today, even after the patch, I believe, you can basically kill the dragon without taking any health. Doesn't matter which one, it doesn't matter. Okay? It could be alpha, beta, gamma, anything like that. It would not kill you unless you're talking about pteranodons, those minions that they sent you. I'm talking about Island, by the way. You probably wouldn't survive that. Depending on what level it is, it can certainly kill the dragon without any health being taken, which makes this thing stupid. This thing is dumb. So this thing is only exclusive to Valgiro, but clusters are a thing. So yeah, I'll put them, in terms of usefulness, I'll put them right. Now I'll put them on top of A, but the only reason I'm not putting them in S is because, like I said, these things are only exclusive to Valgiro. Unless you're talking, but I'm not talking about cluster. We're talking just regular. And next is the Dillo. For starters, not even this thing is really good. I'm being honest. This thing is a joke. It's annoying. And it's not even that good. Which makes sense because it's only on the beach most of the time. But I'll put it at probably right here, actually, a high D tier, because at least it at least it's pretty easy to tame and it does serve some protection to you. But I'd rather just tame, like, for starters, like a carbo or a trike, because at least those are good.